That smells so good.
Hey there, crafty friends. It's that time of year where everything smells like cinnamon, orange, and just pure Christmas magic. Today I'm going to show you how I make my best-selling Christmas simmer pots. They're so easy, so giftable, and they're flying off the shelves faster than I can stock them. Now, let's make the labels because you want your gift to look bougie, like you bought it in an exclusive boutique. Packaging helps sell your product. I'm going to be using my Cricut Joy Xtra and some sticker paper to make the labels that go on the front of the packaging. So over in Cricut Design Space, the first thing I'm going to do is point out something to you guys. I'm going to use a Christmas wreath as the outside circle or frame for my sticker. And when I go under images on the left and in the search box I search for Christmas wreath, you can see here that I have some pretty colorful images here that I could choose from. But the gotcha is that each one of these that you see here on my screen right now has this little A in the upper right corner of the image, and that represents that I need to have Cricut access the membership in order to use that image. If I add it to my canvas and I go to make it, it's going to want me to pay for that particular image before I can continue on if I don't have Cricut access membership. You can also use the filter option and click on free. I'm going to go ahead and close down, click on this arrow and close down the image menu. And I've actually gone over to designbundles.net and downloaded this particular wreath, and this is the one I'm going to use for my stickers or my label. So to bring that into Cricut Design Space, on the left, I'm going to click on Upload, and then Upload Image, and Browse, and locate the PNG file for the wreath that I just downloaded from designbundles.net, then click Open. And this is the image that I'm going to use. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Continue on the bottom right. And now I'm on the background remover page, and I'm not going to make any changes here. I'm just going to click Apply and Continue. And because I'm going to be making stickers, I'm going to want to select the flat graphic option and click Continue. And this is the image, again, that I'm going to be uploading to Design Space and using for my stickers. And if you want, you can save the image with a file name and put it in a collection or a folder of your choosing. I'm just going to go ahead and click on Upload. Now my image came in really large, so I'm going to go up to the top under size and change the width to 3 inches and let it default to the height. And I'll drag it down here so you can see it a little bit better. The next thing we're going to do is add our text. So I'm going to click on the text tool on the left, and I'm going to type in Merry Christmas. And with that text selected, up under font on the toolbar across the top, I'm going to click that drop down arrow, and I'm going to search for the font that I want to use. And in my case, it's called Storytelling. And I'll click that and select it and close that sidebar down, and then grab one of the corners to size my text down to fit inside my wreath. And then I'm going to grab the text tool again, and this time I'm going to type in simmer pot, all caps, and I'm going to change the font this time to Beliza. And I'm going to grab one of the corners and size that down as well and position it under Merry Christmas. And then I'm going to grab the text tool one more time. And this time I'm going to type in my instructions. And they are add contents to a saucepan, cover with 2 to 3 cups of water, simmer on low, add water as needed. And then I'm going to grab one of the corners and drag that down to size it and move it into my wreath and size it down to a size that fits nicely in there. And I can adjust the sizes after I get everything typed in. The last thing I'm going to do is take Merry Christmas, right click on it and click Duplicate, grab that and change that text to Enjoy, and then move it at the bottom here. Now it looks pretty good, but I think my size of my text for the instructions is a little large. So I'm going to drag that in and make it a little smaller and do the same with the title, Simmer Pot. Click and drag to select all the layers and go under Align, Center Horizontally. Here I'm going to grab my text, all my text layers, and I'm going to go under Align, Distribute Vertically. so there's even spacing between each one of the layers. I'm just going to move my wreath. I know it's not centered, but it'd be centered nicely around the text. And I think I'm happy with it like that. So I'm going to grab it all and I'm going to click on flatten in the bottom. Then I'm going to change my background canvas color by clicking in the box next to background color on the right. And I'm going to change that to gray. Now you can see that I don't have a background here, and if I were to send this to print and cut, it would cut around all these little pieces, and that's not what I want. I'm going to make a copy of this, duplicate it. So I could do one of two things. I could go under shapes and grab a circle and make it fit behind my label. So with the circle selected, I'll go under arrange, send it back, and then I can size it the way I want. Select everything, go under line, center, looks good, but change that color of that circle to white. And select it all and go under flatten, so now it's a print and cut image. Or I could go with this one and go under offset at the top, and I could add an offset to my image, making it what I want it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and click on apply. Change the color to white. Go under, I've got all these little pieces here. So I'm going to go under contour in the bottom right. And I'm going to say hide all contours, but select that main one. And then close out of there. And I could have my background look like that. So it's really a personal preference, what you like. I personally prefer the circle, but you can go with either one you want. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this one because I don't like that one. And I'm going to make sure that this is sized down to 3 inches wide and 3 inches high. Now, if you've been following along, you'll notice at the top here, I haven't yet selected the machine I'm going to use, and that's why it has a red dot next to it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that and change to the Cricut Joy Xtra. Right now it's connected. So now I can click on Make in the top right. And I see this is a picture of the mat of the sticker paper, and I can see these are my registration marks and where I have to keep my image inside. But I want to maximize the amount of space that I have for my stickers on one sheet. So I'm going to go to the top left and change the number of copies to 6, because I believe I can get 6 of these stickers on one sheet. And there you go. 6 of them will print and cut on one sheet of sticker paper. So now I'm ready to click on continue. And then I'm going to click on send to printer. And I'm using a color laser printer, so I'm going to change add bleed and turn it off. And for system dialog box, I'm going to use the default and just go ahead and click on print. Now that I have my stickers printed and they're already on my mat, I'm going to come back into Design Space and I'm going to click on Browse All Materials. And I'm looking for sticker paper, so I'm going to click Search on Sticker. And I already have one set up for Kiss Cut. It's called Stickers Kiss Cut No Laminate. But I want to show you how I did it. So I'm going to click on Material Settings in the bottom. And I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom of this list. I'm going to click on Add New Material. You're going to give it a name. We'll just say Kiss Cut Stickers. And say Save. It adds it to the list alphabetically. And here's where you would change your pressure settings. So I'm going to grab this dot, move it to the left, and I'm going to change pressure settings to 80. This column here where it says off, that's for multiple passes. So I'm going to leave that off. And I'm using the fine point blade, then click Save. So I'm going to be using Kiss Cut Stickers. So I'm going to just click on Done. Now you got to go back into Browse All Materials after setting up that material setting. And this time we're going to search on Kiss. And there are our Kiss Cut stickers. Click on Done. I've already got my sticker paper on my mat, so I'm going to go ahead and load it into the machine. It's going to pull it in and read it and make sure it has what it needs to do the material setting that we selected. And then I'm going to click on Go in the software. And what that does is it tells the Joy to go ahead and start the process, but the first thing it's going to do is read those registration marks. Then it will start the cutting process. Once the cutting process is finished, you'll be prompted in the software to click the Unload button. And you'll remove the top layer of the sticker paper to reveal you have perfectly cut Kiss Cut stickers.
So what do I use to make my Christmas summer bags? Well, these are the ingredients, and I'll have everything linked in the description below. Start off with dried oranges that smell amazing, dried cranberries, star anise, whole clovers, cinnamon sticks, and pine sprigs. And these are the bags that I use to fill, and they open up and the front is completely clear. Right? So we're going to start off first adding our sticker. I found it easier to add the sticker first. So I'm just going to grab one and place it near the top. I want to be able to see the ingredients. So sticker, right? Easy. All right, then I start with the smaller things and top of the bigger things. So inside my bag, I'm going to start with a handful of dried cranberries. There's no magic formula that says 2 tablespoons of dried cranberries. I just start with a handful like this and fill my bag. Okay, and then I take my star anise, and I take about 5 of those. And they're these little stars. And if there's some broken ones, I might add an extra piece. Okay, and they smell amazing. And we'll add those to our bag. And then whole cloves. I usually just take a small handful. About like that. Again, no formal recipe, no measuring things. You drop it in. I'll tell you what, this is already smelling amazing. And then I'm going to take 2 of my cinnamon sticks and add it to the bag. 2 cinnamon sticks. So good. And then I'm going to take 3 of my dried oranges. Delicious. All right, and then I'm going to take about 2 sprigs of pine, and it depends on how big they are. I like to do at least 1 big one, and maybe a couple of smaller ones, just to make sure that this bag has a full fragrance. So here are my sprigs. Just adding them to the bag so I can kind of see everything. And then I'm going to close the bag, just like that.
Now these are resealable bags that I use, so what I like to do before I sell them or ship them is to seal the top with a heat sealer. And it's just a quick tap, and now the bag won't open. Okay, so they would rip it here and then open it and put it in the water. I also sell them in mason jars, but I found that the ones in the bags actually sell better. Don't forget to click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell, and thanks for watching.